This is the Roxon Flex multi-tool, and it's probably my most requested item to review on the channel. And holy heck, were you guys right about this. I am a big fan. Now, I should mention this was sent in by Roxon for review with no other strings attached. But I've started looking at this more closely. We looked at it on the live stream the other day, and my God, am I impressed. I have not been able to do a sort of full review on this. So these are kind of first impressions, kind of second impressions, but man, am I impressed so far. And hopefully we'll be able to do some like more detailed testing very soon. At first glance, it kind of resembles the Victorinox Swiss tool. It's got those sort of curves to the handle that flare out at the bottom, makes it a very comfortable tool. Not a little bit thicker on the Roxon, so not a direct comparison. I thought maybe, is this kind of a clone of this? Well, I don't think I would call it a clone at this point, though it is somewhat similar in design language. I don't even know where to begin. Let's jump into just this tool as I got it. This was $88 or is $88 from Roxon. And you're going to have really decent pair of pliers. Again, let's compare this to the Swiss tool Spirit. I think this is the Spirit X. And similarly sized pliers. You've got nice big replaceable cutters with a small hard wire cutter notch in there. I don't know if you can see that. And then inside, or outside, I should say, you have a pretty decent selection of tools. Let's unlock these, and we'll pop out a few of the tools. We've got a nice big all Phillips screwdriver, large flats driver with bottle opener, and I believe, if I can pop those back open, a pair of scissors. Seem decent enough, have not gotten super deep into the review, or the testing of those, I should say. So we're going to have a plain edge knife blade, a medium flat with a screwdriver with file, and a little depth gauge, I suppose. And then a can opener, a hook cutter, and a scraper slash chisel looking thing with wire cutters on there. All the tools are locking with this really interesting system. You can, for one, you can slide these sliders up and lock the tools from opening, prevent them from opening. And to open the tools, you slide this little pusher out to the side, and that will deploy the tools so you can grab them more easily. The longer tools have little nail nicks. Can you see that? To pull those out from the tool. Now over here, same sort of dealio. You can slide those out, and when you press the locks all the way open, you'll see this locking tab sort of holds in the open position. The reason for that is the sort of revolutionary thing about the Roxon Flex is at the right angle, the tool will overextend and then can be slid out. And this is a fully modular system. We've seen those in a couple of other places. The goat tool comes to mind. However, from afar, this does seem to be a much more elegant system for doing so. Allows you to insert and remove tools kind of on the fly. We talked in the live stream about carrying the Flex Companion, which takes the same size tools and allows you to carry them in a separate package alongside and swap out tools to your heart's desire. Obviously, that's not something you're going to see on the Victorinox Swiss tool, or the Spirit, excuse me, the Swiss tool Spirit. These are going to be, fully integrated tools with the rivets, so not even super user replaceable, though in theory you could do so. I wanted to do a comparison, which I did not get to do on the live stream, between the tools on the Roxon Flex, at least the ones that come standard, and the tools on the Swiss tool Spirit. So you're going to see we do have three-dimensional Phillips on both of these. I can lock that out, I apologize. A little bit smaller on the Roxon. but at least you have that full 3 dimensions, gives you a little bit more grip, and I find that helpful on something like a Phillips screwdriver. We've got a nice beefy awl and bottle opener. Let's see if we've got those on the Spirit, just for kicks and giggles. And I do love the Spirit. I think it's one of the most nicely machined, sort of engineered pieces. So here's going to be the bottle opener comparison. You can see we do have a wire stripper notch on the Swiss tool that you're not going to have on the Flex, but similarly sized, seems similarly capable at first glance. We had the awl, and I don't, oh, there is an awl somewhere on here. Let's see if we can find this. This is, of course, kind of the issue here. Yeah, here's the awl. You're going to get a much beefier awl on the Roxon. I mean, much wider. A little bit thicker, it seems, if my eyes are not deceiving me. And then we've got scissors, of course, on both. This being the Spirit X. We'll just need to locate them. You're going to get, I think, a few more tools on the Swiss tool. And, you know, that is a trade-off you get with a modular multi-tool. You're going to have a little bit more room for different mechanisms than you may have on an integrated tool like with the Spirit. And you're also going to be a little bit thicker here. That said, I was concerned about the amount of space that was going to be taken up, how chunky of a tool this was going to be. And yes, it's a little bit thicker than the Spirit, but it is a very sleek tool. When you look at something like the Goat tool, that's nice and that's very boxy. This does not give that kind of feel to it. Maybe we'll get one of those in for review as well, because I don't mean to hate on the Goat tool. I have nothing against it. I think it's a great idea, and I think it kind of ushered in this era of modular tools. The files are going to be different. I do believe there is, I wanted to compare, there should be a large, or maybe that's on the larger Swiss tool and not on the Spirit. Let's see. Nope, there it is. This is also going to be kind of a similar tool here with the sharpened chisel edge and the wire stripper notches. So that's kind of your quick comparison between the two. I don't think that they are necessarily direct competitors, but I do think that, you know, they could be used in sort of similar use cases. I do love, you know, I've talked about the Swiss tool a bit. If you look at the springs on the back, those are individually grooved so that each tool actuates its own portion of the spring. That keeps the other tools from clumping out, whereas Roxon here has kind of embraced that, but given you a nice mechanism for opening those tools. If you go to Roxon's website, you can find a lot of additional tools that you can swap into this. And of course, that lets you build this tool out to your exact specifications. And they have a really nice library of tools so far. The only thing I saw missing was some, they have hex bits in metric, but not in standard. I would love to see those in some standard sizes, particularly like 3/16, which is a very common hex driver size. But I have just been very, very impressed, and so I wanted to share this with you. Spring-loaded pliers. They are well machined. They do match up pretty well at the tip. Not perfect, but that's hard to ask for, especially at this price point. And this is going to come loaded with all the tools you see here. Or you can get the bare tool for quite a bit cheaper, but this is how I decided to go about it. And I probably will be purchasing some tools to test out as well, and I'll show those here on the channel in the near future. Roxon also sent me the Roxon Phantom, which is kind of more of closer to what I expected. So I think the Flex is going to be more up my alley, but I'm going to do some testing on the Phantom as well. So subscribe if you want to see that. Comes with a nice sheath. It's going to be somewhat rigid, and it's not my favorite, you know, sheath. I think you could fit this in a much smaller sheath, and I think that would be a really nice companion piece, but it also comes with a pocket clip here. So that is another great thing about this, is that you have that pocket clip quickly accessible to slip this just straight into a pocket. Let's grab, while we're here, this should be the large size leather sheath. I wanted to see if this would fit in there. This is from Leatherman, and yeah, that's a really nice fit. A little bit of room, nothing, it's not going to be a tight squeeze, but I think where it wins out is it's going to be a lot narrower than that Roxon sheath. So if you want to get something like that, this is the large leather sheath, if I'm not mistaken. That's kind of how I would probably carry it. I'm kind of a belt carrier for multi-tools, but yeah, I guess that's kind of my second set of impressions on this. Everything operates really smoothly. You can hear that click when I open the pliers, and I don't know exactly what's going on here. You can see a little bit of kind of extra geometry in there, an extra piece of some sort that seems to be working on that click mechanism to keep those pliers in place, and it gives a nice positive snap when it's closed. Those are things that, you know, are easily overlooked, but I think lend to a large degree of sort of quality in the tool. It's a nice dense tool. It's not super lightweight, but it is also not, you know, overly heavy. Very pocketable. Oh, what else is there to say? I think that might be it. I do sometimes forget to unlock the tools before I open them, but they don't seem to be, you know, unless you really shake it, they're not going to come open. I also just noticed there that the blade is more resistant to opening, it seems. And they do a nice detail here when you pop those up. That blade does not come up as far as the rest of the tools, which keeps that tip from being exposed. And I have heard from some of our viewers that there's a one-handed blade available as well, if that's something you're interested in. The scissors do the same thing, and they just have a little nail nick there that pops up proud of the frame. It's just a really sleek tool. I think as sleek as the Victorinox in a lot of ways, but with a different mindset of being modular, and I really respect that. I think I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on Roxon going forward. They were a little bit off my radar. I did kind of consider them a budget brand, and I think now I would call them a value brand, because they've gone from in my mind, they've gone from a you know, cheaper multi-tools that don't necessarily tick all the boxes, but with the Roxon Flex, I think they're ticking all of those boxes, and they're still at a great price point, $85 or $88, I think. Absolutely great price point for this type of tool when you consider, you know, some Leathermans are going as high as what, $250 now for the Arc, you know, and the free P4 at $150. I think that this is a really good competitor to those, while not being, you know, super expensive. Maybe out of some people's budgets, and there's other budget multi-tools for that. We just did a video a couple weeks back on getting a full-size Leatherman for $35, so check that out too if you want to see it. But man, I'm just excited about this tool and excited to see where Roxon goes. Again, this was sent out for review, no strings attached, but I'm definitely very excited about the Roxon Flex and wanted to get that video out to you guys as quick as possible. So give a thumbs up if you like the Roxon Flex. You want to see more of their stuff, because I will reach back out and see what we can get arranged going forward. We will have some sort of an overview of the Roxon Phantom as well in the near future. So hopefully that kind of helps you guys out. And thanks for recommending it. Keep send me more recommendations in the comments too. If there's something you guys want to see, because I you know, have a limited scope thus far, so I'm really trying to broaden my experience with these tools, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, guys.